Hi, this is Jordan with Good Sports Outdoor Outfitters. Today we're going to educate you on different types of ski jackets or snowboard jackets that are available to our consumers to make your comfort level superior on a mountain where it's going to be either very cold or very nasty or really protecting you from dying. So we're going to make sure that you get educated to that. A lot of customers come in and say, well, I've got a rain jacket at the house. Why aren't I just taking my rain jacket? And there's a few different reasons. As a traditional rain jacket, no insulation whatsoever, of course, and it's just a rain jacket. Waterproof, breathable, windproof, great. And why couldn't you just put a fleece or a little down jacket under this and go skiing? You could, but there's a few different pieces that are missing here. Number one, the tenacity of the material. If you take a hard fall on ice with this product, you could fail the material. You could tear the material because it's made for hiking in the trees and just kind of rubbing up something, not with velocity going against it and against the ice. So A, the fragility of the material. B, the main important thing is the fact that it has no powder skirt at all. And the powder skirt, if you don't have it, makes a huge difference in warmth. A powder skirt is very important because it seals in heat from you bellowing air as you move. And what it is this piece right here that is designed to wrap around your hips, and you snap it to your hips, and it creates a seal from when you're moving as it bellows air in and out as you move. It is designed to keep all that heat internalized. It also protects you from shoveling snow up your back when you fall. I presume that you fall because you're an aggressive skier or snowboarder. But even if you're not falling, the ability for you to move like this and not bellow air or hot air out and maintain warmth inside is very, very important. So the powdered skirt does two real things. Keeps snow from going up your back and seals in heat. Very, very important. Rain jackets do not have that. Even rain jackets like this, which we call a Triclimate rain jacket. A Triclimate rain jacket has a great feature of removable insulation. I can wear this piece to dinner. I can wear this by itself as a rain jacket when I come back home. But now the missing link is that it has no powder skirt inside. And the fact is that you will be colder in a product like this than you will be if you were to get something with a powder skirt. The one thing that all ski products have in common, ski jackets or snowboard jackets have in common, is the powder skirt. Materials change, brands obviously change, technologies change all throughout. Everything has a powder skirt. So keep that in mind when you're buying your jacket to make sure that if it doesn't have that, just move on to the next piece. It'll just be a more comfortable proposition for you. We have it broken down into shell jackets, ski or snowboard. Ski or snowboard, fully insulated, no removable liner, no removable insulation, and fully removable insulation Triclimate products. Let's start with the shells. The word shell means that it's fully uninsulated. You will add the insulation yourself with the base layer long underwear, your fleece, your down jacket, whatever else you're going to put under, sweaters, whatever. That is an uninsulated jacket that you are having to insulate yourself. I personally am a very aggressive skier. I sweat a lot. I'm very warm-natured, and I feel like the best thing for me is a shell. So I actually ski in a shell. I like to regulate the temperatures myself. And again, being very warm-natured, it gives me that ability to stay comfortable even in very, very cold climates as long as I'm aggressively active. If I'm sitting on a park bench, that's another story. But for me, as a good, hard skier, I prefer something that it's a shell that's a little bit more breathable, that gives me the ability to regulate it myself. Uninsulated shell like this Burton AK jacket, full Gore-Tex, fully seam sealed, made for wet or snow or whatever. Fantastic comfort from a shell. But a lot of our South Texas clients prefer to err on the warmer side. So what we do is we sell more insulated jackets than we do shell jackets, only because of the mentality of a clientele that wants to err on the warm side. So these three jackets, whether it be a snowboard style or ski style, have non-removable insulation. They are fully insulated. But let's talk about seam taping. When they seam seal something, they make it a waterproof seam. And the idea is that if snow is falling on your shoulders or you're sitting down on a park bench where it's wet, you're not soaking through the jacket. Yes, the jacket material is waterproof, but every punch hole in a seam is a fail point. So keep that in mind when you're buying a jacket. A $49 ski jacket is not really a ski jacket. It has no seam seal, and that's a very big deal. We start snowboard or ski style jackets at about 169, and every jacket is what we call critically taped at minimum. And critically taped is the top of the jacket where snow is falling on you, where when you fall, you get up and you dust yourself off and everything's cool again. But a critically taped product usually tapes the upper part of the jacket. When you get into nicer jackets, it is fully taped. Every seam, every punch hole is filled with a tape to make sure that it is no matter what waterproof. And the big difference is when it's 20 degrees outside, there's no water anywhere, right? It's ice. But when it's 40 degrees on a beautiful spring day and you come down at the bottom of the mountain, you're waiting for your buddies and you sit on the mountain and those seams that are against the snow are starting to melt and absorb water, that is a big deal. If the internal guts of this jacket get wet, it's just a cool paperweight. It is worthless. So we try to keep you dry from the outside and regulate your inside temperature and your inside moisture with good long underwear. So non-removable insulations gives you the ability to stay much warmer, but you need to buy smart. And at the moderate level of $200 all the way up to a $800 four-way stretch ski descent jacket, those are big differences in technology and a huge difference in fit and feel. So buy the most comfortable product you can afford, and you will be the most comfortable skier on the mountain. Talk about the value in the jacket and what you pay for when you buy from an inexpensive jacket to a very expensive jacket. Comfort is the key. Okay, the more you pay, the more comfortable the product. And the reason I say it that way is because the stretchier materials come into the more expensive jacket. The more articulation in the shoulders and the body, it fits a little bit better. It moves with you a little bit better. Whereas you get into what we call a traditional style jacket, and it's very traditional, it works great, it's just not as comfortable as a more expensive jacket. And comfort comes from a few different things. The technology on the outer pieces, so the outer materials, which are stretchy, the inner liner, which is the insulation, and then the inner liner of that, which is basically this brown liner in this particular 686 George Quicksilver jacket. And so you can feel there's an insulation right behind this layer, but the more expensive products have insulations that are laminated to the inside, so you really can't pull them away from each other. It's just a nicer build. Takes longer time to build the product, which takes more cost. So at the $200 range, very moderately priced, you've got critically seam taped product. And what that is, it's the second caveat into this comfort thing, is seam taping. Seam taping happens when they physically put heat tape behind these seams. Every single punch hole in a jacket from the stitch is a fail point for water to enter. So if it is critically taped, which means the top part of the jacket where snow would be falling onto your shoulders, this is very important. You have critically taped seams starting at about, or going up to about the $300 or $400 mark. So the way to manage cost for these vendors is to do less taping, and the less taping takes less time, therefore they can charge you a little less money. So we go from like a $199 to a $399 to a $799, and now you've got a range of products that have critical taping up top or full taping on your more expensive product. And that means every seam on this product is completely seam sealed. So when you're sitting down at the bottom of the run waiting for your buddies and it's 40 degrees outside and it's turning into slush, no way will water be able to penetrate a jacket like this because every seam is taped. The lower price points, typically you'll have an area where all the stitching here will start to absorb water, and that's a problem for somebody who's going to wet out the insulation inside, and then it's pretty much worthless. So it needs to dry correctly to really come back to life. The key is that we keep the insulation dry by taping all the seams. And the more you pay, the more tape you get, the better, more comfortable it is. Descent does a great job at managing moisture also by not only adding four-way waterproof stretch to the outside, but they do a huge job inside the jacket. And again, this is what you get when you pay for a jacket like this. You get better moisture management on the back where you sweat real bad. This is all designed to be temperature regulated for your kidneys, the top chimneys. These are all vents designed to move moisture and humidity out of the jacket so you don't get damp, keeping you drier, keeping you more comfortable, keeping you on the mountain longer. Then we go from fully insulated, non-removable insulations to removable insulations. This is actually what I use, but I only use the outer piece, the outer shell. Okay, so first we're going to talk about the 686 Smarty jacket. It's a pretty cool piece because the versatility and your bang for your dollar, this is the big value right here. Not only do you have a removable vest from the jacket, but you also have the shell jacket and then a removable little fleece track jacket inside. So it is insulation, a shell, and more insulation on top of it. Again, bang for your dollar. Triclimates are the way to go. It's all about really coming back here, splitting them apart and wearing the individual pieces. Or if you're going to dinner, you don't need to necessarily wear your outer jacket, you just wear the inner jacket or whatever. The key is value for your dollar. So Triclimate products offer that value. And the other one that we use is by Patagonia. The Patagonia Triclimate, the Snow Shot, is also removable insulation, a full shell, no insulation whatsoever. But the key thing is it still has the powder skirt. The powder skirt seals in all, which is great. This is actually what I personally use. I have yet to ever put the liner inside and ski in it because it is, even if it's very cold outside, I prefer really cold weather, but even if it's really cold, it's just not, it's too warm for me. I'm too aggressive a skier for it, and I don't want to sweat. The key is that we stay dry with our base layer, managing moisture from the inside, a good insulation, and then some type of outer jacket on top of everything. 3 to 4 layers maxed out, no matter how cold it ever gets, is ever what you're really going to wear under it. And all of these jackets will do that very, very easily. From a shell to an insulated to a removable insulation, you've got great value through here. Let's just figure out together what is going to be your best choice. We appreciate you watching our educational video on ski jackets, and we look forward to outfitting you for your next adventure.